Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Last night we got some really cool temperatures, 7 degrees above freezing. So I'm thinking about getting my plant room ready. I was in there today looking at it and what a mess it was. There was like stands everywhere, there was leaves all over the floor, roots growing across the benches that were still kind of attached, and oh my goodness, I've got a lot of cleanup to do. But soon will be the time that some of the more sensitive trees will have to go into the plant room, because I can only keep this greenhouse so warm at night. If I put my heater on, I can keep it generally about 5 degrees warmer than the outside temperature. So if it drops down to freezing, I can keep this at 5 degrees Celsius. But that's still too cold for some tropicals like my Kapok trees and my baobabs. They need to stay above kind of 12 degrees Celsius as a minimum. So yeah, so I've got to get my plant room ready, bring some of the more sensitive trees into there eventually. But let's start today by showing you some gifts that I got in the mail. The first gift is some Irish shamrocks, some seeds, plant your own seeds, and this is from Chris at CM Bonsai. So thanks very much, Chris, and he thought, well, that might make a good accent plant, so that's what we'll try. I'll plant them and try and grow it as a shamrock accent plant. And then from Steve, from Steve's Backyard Bonsai, he sent me a 3D printed pot. This is from Bonsai Shoes. This is size 10, patent pending. So it's a bonsai pot, 3D printed. It's fairly heavy, thick walls. And in the bottom is like a built-in mesh. Now, I am a little concerned about this mesh because what I find on the bonsai pots is that roots grow through these mesh holes and they'll actually break the mesh apart. So that's why I use window screening, because as the root expands, the mesh kind of opens up. So this might be a problem. As roots grow and thicken up, it might actually, I don't know if it would break the mesh, but it could. Especially like with a ficus or something. So you'd have to be a little careful to what you put in here. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but we will see. Yeah, so there's, you know, a hole in the bottom so the water can run out. It doesn't have traditional feet. Yeah, a very interesting pot from Bonsai Shoes, and Steve from Steve's Backyard Bonsai, he's got a channel on YouTube, sent it to me. So thank you very much, Steve. And Dave meant to give it to me when he was up visiting this summer. So he sent me a note and he sent me a Bonsai Acre sticker. So this is going to have to go in the truck. So off we go. Here's a look at the transmission hump in my Ford F-250. So I am kind of running out of room for stickers, but I do have space. I'm thinking way up top here would be good. So let's do that. I will get the sticker out. And we will put it right in here. Bonsai Acres. Right above the Star Wars one. Let me straighten that out a bit. I don't want it crooked. Trees grow vertical. There. Yeah, there's the Star Wars one holding the bonsai above the Tusken Raider's head. And here's the Bonsai Acres one now, firmly stuck down. Awesome. Look at all these cool stickers in here now. So the transmission hump is looking good with all these stickers on it now. So thanks very much, Steve and Dave. I mentioned in yesterday's video that I didn't want to work on my ficus here or my Kapok trees because the spider had built its web and it was attached to these two trees. Last night I saw the spider making its way along the top of the greenhouse here. So I think it's gone away to create an egg sac, or it's near the end of its life because it was a very large spider. And I noticed the web here, it hasn't been rebuilt from last night or yesterday. So I think it's done with the web. So I'm going to take this opportunity to work on these trees. So I'll start by getting the Kapoks out. Here is a look at my Kapok trees or Kapok trees. So these trees are all grown from cuttings. Originally I ordered seeds online and I planted all the seeds and they grew into really nice trees. And I didn't realize that they can't take any more than about 12 degrees Celsius in the wintertime. So I let them get down a little closer to freezing and they just all died. So I had given away some to Bonsai J, another bonsai YouTuber, and I asked him, do you have any cuttings or any of the original plants left? And he said, yes, I've got a cutting left, so I will send it to you. And he brought it over to my place. So the middle tree here is that cutting from Bonsai J, and the one surrounding it, there's 4 other ones, and they're cuttings off of this original one. So they're cuttings of a cutting, and maybe cuttings of a cutting of a cutting. So today I'm going to prune it back. You can see everything's growing really tall, nice and vigorous. So I'm going to shorten it as much as possible. I think my goal for this tree should be to grow it into a fairly large tree. The leaves are quite large on it, and the growth is quite coarse. Like they're rapid growers. You get large spaces between the leaves, and you get very straight branches. So I think a large style bonsai will suit this. So here I go with the pruning. Okay, so I'm trying to prune all this new growth back as far as I can, and I'm pruning it back to, there's some white fly on it. I'm pruning it back to leaves that are fanning outwards. So on this growing tip here, you can see there's a leaf fanning outwards here, so I'll prune just above that. And I prune halfway between the nodes, allowing a bit of room for dieback. So on every tree I'm looking for outward facing branches. So these cuttings I'm going to go back quite far. I don't want them to grow too big and interfere with the main tree here. So on these cuttings I'm going to go right back to here, taking that whole tip off. This one I can go right back to here. The one on this side, I'll take it right back to here. Big changes for the trees today. And this one, I've got an outward facing leaf here, so I can take it off to there. And you can see some of these leaves down lower, a bit yellowy looking. But, you know, at the base of each one of these leaves is a bud that will become activated and grow into a new branch. So now on the main tree here, I have got a branch growing up here. I've got a leaf that fans out way up here, so I'll have to use that one, I guess. This front one, I've already done that one. This tall one, I can prune it right back to a leaf that's fanning out here, so I will. Like that. This one's already put out a branch all by itself. So I will prune it back to here. This one can come way back to, I think, way back to here. Take the top off, and then if I go up the back here, I can at least take this off to here. Actually, I can go further down. And this one to here. And then this one to here. I have one coming up the middle here. Just above there. Yeah, quite a bit of white fly on this. I didn't realize it. So I'll have to get out the soap and water. So all these cuttings, if I were to plant them, they would grow really nicely into trees. But I have 5 of them, and that's quite enough, so that'll have to go on the compost heap. I'm going to give it a spray with soap and water now to get rid of that white fly. So here I go. Start from underneath. Oh, you can see them all flying away. Probably should have done this outside. Oh well. Hopefully they'll all die. White fly is nasty stuff. Hard to get rid of. Okay, so that's sprayed. I'll let that sit for a bit and then I'll rinse it all off. While I'm letting it sit, I will pick out some of these weeds that are down below here. Okay, so I think that sat long enough. I will give it a rinse now. Here is a look at the base of the tree. So you can see I'm starting to get some buttressing at the base of the tree. It's starting to develop some bark. And one of the main cool characteristics of a Kapok or Kapok tree is you get these big buttressed root bases on them. So that's one thing I'm trying to achieve with this tree, is to get that big buttressed root base. And up top, I'm just trying to get a nice big umbrella canopy. It didn't take too long to get the Kapoks all pruned up, sprayed for insects, weeded, and well watered. So I'm going to get out my Ficus benjamina root over temple and work on cleaning that up next. Here's a look at my original root over temple ficus planting. So you can see since the last pruning, it's growing in quite nicely. Some areas are very dense. Some areas are too dense. So in here, there's all kinds of new shoots that are cluttering up the main branch structure. So today I'm going to do some cleanup work on it. I'm going to go in and keep the branches I want and prune away all the new shoots that are just cluttering it up and making it too congested. I'm going to begin in this interior here. There's so many new shoots in here that I've got to clean them out. You can't even see the branch structure anymore. So I'm going to keep any possible ones. Like there's a shoot coming out the front here, which would be nice to fill the canopy in there. There's another one here that could be useful. So I'm not going to rush and prune everything away. I'm going to just prune the ones I know I won't want, like this vertical one here. The one growing on top of this other branch. I know I won't want that. There's another vertical one here. And another vertical one back here. Yeah, so I'll keep, this one. I don't need this little side branch here. I don't need this one up front here. And another one there. And then out of these ones, I think if I were to keep a branch, it would be this one. So I'll prune away all the others. And I don't think I want this one. It's going directly under the thick primary structure here. That. And I don't want this one either. Okay. Well, that helps a little bit. I mean, I can see a bit more into the branch structure. There's another little shoot here, but I could keep that one. The apex of the tree kind of grows from the back here and comes forward. So if I can get a shoot that comes out the front, this one might be a good one. I'll keep it. But I don't need the one back here. So that can come out.
There's a branch here that's going directly into this other part of the canopy. Don't think I want anything on that. That's coming off. Yeah. This branch here, I've got a bit of congestion. I'm going to prune this vertical one off there. A bit of a vertical one here I can prune away. Just to get a little separation between these branches. And then I think I'll prune the upper one back shorter. I could come right back to here or back to here. I'll start it here. That's still too long. I'll come right back to there. So the bottom branch is longer. So they all get light. Now there's a shoot coming off here. I'll prune the tip back. And we better look at the back part of this branch. All's looking pretty good with that. I could tip prune this one and this one. Just to create some more subdividing. Now, so this branch here, the very tip you can see, it's still green, but it hasn't grown. It's sent up a new shoot from here. And I didn't want this, tall vertical one, so I'm going to prune this branch back to that new vigorous growth. So here I go. Back to there. It kind of shortens that upright section. And I got all these branches fanning out here. I'll only keep this horizontal one and my growing tip, so I'll prune off the third branch here. Two's company, three's a crowd. So that's kind of got a lot of this lower structure pruned up. I'm going to go around back now and just see what's going on here. There's a lot of congestion in here. So here's a branch growing here that I don't want. This one I don't want. There's a branch back here, and I don't really need any of these other ones. So I've got enough branching in this area, so all this fine growth, fine new growth can come out. I think all that can come off. Let me just see. Yeah, all these new shoots in here can come off. Just cluttering it all up. Once you develop the primary structure, you want to be able to see it. You don't want to cover it up with these new fine shoots. Take that one off. Now, do I want any of these hanging branches? Maybe. Not these two. They come directly from the base of this branch, so if I keep any hanging branches, it'll be this one out the back here. And I will keep that. Okay. Now, off of the base of this branch, I got all kinds of new shoots that I think, yes, they can all be cleaned out. Again, they're just cluttering up that structure. Do I want that one? Maybe. I'll keep this one. And that one can go. This one can go. And then I've got a bunch of little ones here that can all go too. I already have a good branch structure in place here. I don't need more branches in that area. So that should have cleaned up this structure in here quite a bit, and it did. Now I still have a bit too much going on here. If I keep this branch, I don't think I need this one. I'll keep the other ones. This one and the vertical one to go up into here. To prune that one. Okay, so I think I've cleared out, the basic structure. So next I've got to do a bit of sorting on some of these branches. Just kind of managing the new growth on them. Nothing too major, I don't think. So let's just look at this branch. A lot going on with it. There's a lot of new branches come out on it. So here's a crossing one. I'll start with that. Take that out. Everything else is pretty good. It all fans out quite nicely. I think I'll just leave it. It'll thicken that area up. This one out the back looks fine. This back branch, I've got some new branches here I can remove. I already have a branch. I don't need 4 growing from one spot. And let me see this one. Yeah, I don't need this double branch here, so I'll get rid of this one that's hidden behind the trunk. Keeping the one out to the side. There's a new branch growing in here I don't need. Shorten this one to prune it. Take that vertical shoot off to prune that one. There's one growing vertically here I can take out, and another one here. Maybe even taking that whole top off there. Shorten this back. Shorten this back. I'll leave that. There's a branch growing vertically here at the base of another branch. In fact, I've got a whole bunch of new ones. Like 5 branches growing in one spot here. So I don't think I want any of them. It already divides into 2 primary branches here. I'll get rid of at least these ones. I just saw some whitefly flying there too. Might have to spray this too. Yeah, I don't know about this one coming off here, but I'll keep it for now. There's some more that needs pruning here. Right out. This one. Come out. I don't even know about this one, keeping it. Maybe. I'll keep the upright part of it. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go up above the tree now, kind of looking down at it, and yeah, make sure every branch has light. My canopy is far from an umbrella canopy. It has a long way to go. I am going to get the blue scissors out and give this a profile prune though, just to get the top in a bit better shape. So here I go. Developing a future umbrella shaped canopy. Just rotate it around so it looks good in all directions. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, now I'm just checking if I need to do any more correction here. That branch can come off. Just crossing another branch. So old leaf that can come out here. Branch growing vertically here that can go. A new shoot there that can go. Old leaf here can go. So I'm just looking through the structure and making sure everything's in order. Cut back a section. There's one growing across everything here. It's got to be taken out. This one's got to go too. Just doing all my final checks to make sure I haven't missed anything. I mean, even if you do miss something, you can get it next time. There's one growing inside here. Old leaf I can take off here. Get light to those new branches. Another old leaf here I can take off. Just get light down to the branches you're growing. A little bit thinning in some of the more congested areas. There's one there I can take off too. Okay. I think that's going to be it. So let's have a look and see what the tree looks like now. Here's what I took off today, so not too much. So that's the pile compared to what's left on the tree. So I would say I got maybe half of the foliage taken off. Yeah, so let's zoom in now and have a look at the tree.
Before we go today, I'm going to show you the plant room, the before, and then I'll work on it over the next couple of days, cleaning it all up, getting it ready for the trees to go in, and then in a future video, I'll show you the after with the room all cleaned up. Here is a look inside the plant room. So you can see there's stands everywhere, all over the tables, little stands, big stands, yeah, everything. The floor is a total mess. It needs sweeping and cleaning up all this junk. I mean, it's not too bad a task, but it's going to take, probably a full day to get this room all cleaned up. It's amazing in winter how many leaves fall off trees and how much debris you end up cleaning up every year. So I think, my plastic is all in place on the windows. I don't have to touch that. All my grow lights are up. They're hanging. I don't have the front bank on, but I've got these ones on.
Benches, you know, they just need cleaning off. I store all my stands above the benches here. And it's just going to take a day to clean this all up and get it ready for the trees. So I've got, you know, the same radiator style heater in here with a fan behind it. And that keeps it warm all winter. I've only had to go up to the setting 2. I've never had to go to 3, so that's good. The room is well insulated, even though it's not finished. But one of these days I'll get around to it, I think. I hope. Yeah, so that's the plant room, the before, and we'll see the after soon enough.
My ficus root over temple has a lot of filling in to do, so I think it'll take, you know, maybe a couple of years before I kind of get that umbrella shaped canopy, and then it'll just keep refining the branch structure, always replacing poor branches with better ones, keeping the tree to shape and compact, and yeah, just general refinement after that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it all filled in someday, the canopy. I think it'll look quite nice. And that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.